So I would like to just start with what you mentioned earlier about church drama and ministry stuff. Interestingly, they both work hand in hand with what Miss Margaret does. Margaret is an expert, international development expert, and then, I mean, expert, really expert. She will also enlighten us about what she does and the things she does in her workspace. And interestingly, Swag Initiative became 10 years this year. Come on, give it up. So please, you'll be sharing us with us the interesting milestone, what you've been doing, and how are you able to get to where you are right now. Interestingly, a lot of organizations would like to do, attain those notable feats. So you would like to just share with us. So back to Mr. Ade. Ade is an interesting person, dramatist. Maybe he should introduce himself. What do you do, sir?
All of it. Drama, business, anything creative, anything multiplying your money.
He's a businessman, and interestingly, he has so much, investment that he has used his intellectual brain to do. So he's an investor and a businessman, and I think he's opened well to any business whatsoever, right?
Any good business.
Not just. Oh, have you done business before? What do you think with business? And how are you coping with having a business mogul in your house?
Okay. It's been an interesting journey. Is a negotiator general of not just Nigeria, the Republic of Nigeria, of the entire universe.
Look.
Well, I mean, it's just interesting to see life from another angle. Ideally, I should love business. I was born into business. I mean, my parents ran a business that we were all supporting, but I think I'm not just cut out for it. I tried it once at the university, and I mean, you know how someone will owe you and the person is coming, you're the one running away because you just feel uncomfortable to go about someone who is owing you. So from then I said, no way. So I'm glad that in this age and time, business is very good. I appreciate what it does. I lend my support when I need to. But I think ultimately for me is I love the soft skills. Love using my brain. I love you definitely use your brain with business too. But I think I just love being in a more what I call professional setting where we're able to dissect human problems and find solutions to it. Of course, then we go after them as philanthropists to give us the money to get the job done. But really helping to find solutions to human problems, it's what I am so passionate about.
Interesting.
Interestingly, I just like you said, interestingly. So I also find my interest in that because when it comes to lending creative way to solve problems, so I find myself doing well in that. And I can assure you that Margaret can also testify to this, that sometimes when ideas are being baited, I see my mind as that factory where the raw idea could pass through and be refined to, at the end of the day, come out as something beautiful, and sometimes just like I create stories too, some ideas could just get created that way, and the moment the ideas are coming, I see it as something that could find expression through what she does. And seriously, it has really made the work very easy. And also looking at the part of being a person very interested in business and negotiation too, it has also helped us in one way or the other to really enjoy that soft landing in so many areas. Like when funds are not enough to carry out projects, on my own part, I bring in the skill of sourcing, negotiating, and ensuring that with minimal funds, you can really get big things done. That at the end of the day, people see the output or the outcome of the entire thing, and it appears like you have all of the, funds to do things. And looking at the creative aspect of me, talking about drama and all of that, I believe that any dramatist who writes, who acts, deal with real humans, will also deal with real problems. And for you to put up your craft or your art in such a way that is acceptable to people, it must really be something that resonates with them. If it's not something they can identify with, definitely they can't accept it. So we do everything to get close to reality. In fact, not just get close to reality, we do things from reality. So which in one way or the other relates with our work as well. So it has really been very beautiful synergy all along, and synergy.
Yeah. I was going to say that if there's one beautiful thing that, there's so many beautiful things about our marriage, but I think synergy is one of them. And just speaking from what you said, two things actually. Let me start from the last one around the value for money. And I also have a privilege of working in other organizations. Most times they are global. So what that means is they have access to bigger funding, unlike SWAG, that is a growing organization, and we're grateful for the growth. However, that lens of excellence, that touch of excellence in terms of even human, because it's human beings that do the work that you do. So you need to take very good care of them. Yes, people are there, structures are there, but you have to start from. And for me, it's whenever I go outside means working with those global organizations. I want to bring home those standard practice. But then you get stuck because you don't have the resources to be able to implement the same. And that's usually where it comes in. So sometimes you walk into our meetings, but we provide either for staff or even for the girls that we continue to partner with. We don't call them beneficiaries, we call them partners, because really we co-create everything with them. But working with him, what that has really helped me do is to say, hey, the standard practice is ABC, but we've just got like 10%. And he has such a very amazing gift of getting quality for less. But I would actually, less means maybe financially less, but then he uses his brain, his time, his intellect, his negotiation skills to bring in the right quality, but even at a lower amount. So when people like, oh, how do you do this thing? They expect that you spend a lot of money. And that's really the brain behind it, is able to help us negotiate for a lower amount, but we're still able to find excellence, to also get quality. The other one is ideas. Is that number one idea receiver. So either I'm thinking of something, I think, because again, we're solving human problems. And with human problems, really, it's about changing behavior. And if you think that changing behavior is just all about telling people what to do, nobody wants to be told what to do. You have to find a way where they understand what is innate for them, how you communicate that so that they change behavior. Again, remember, these behaviors are things that they've done over and over again. So when I'm coming with the raw material, is the first audience that receive it, and then we're able to sit together. I can count the number of projects we've had to work. Everybody sees it outside and like, hey, it looks so snazzy. Like, so we're always swagging it all the way. But it's the first audience that receive. I'm like, okay, I think we can do this. It's really fresh at that point. And using his creative mind, also his background in theater and performing arts, is able to help us really do theater for development and communication for development. So we're able to dish out those information in line with changing behavior. There are science behind it, but ultimately he is master at that craft and is able to help us see how best to use in a very friendly, because sometimes we think that the things that really change behavior or change life are those big things. Honestly, they are the small things of this world. And he's able to help us break it down. We're able to brainstorm this idea, and then we'll roll it out, and boom, we're like, hey, the community is accepting it. Again, when we get to the community, we don't just throw it at them. We co-create with them. We do what we call visioning meeting, where they are able to also come up with their ideas. So, yeah. I just wanted to add that.
No, interestingly, it is a beautiful one, and I love the word you used the other time, synergy. You know, there won't be a successful one, successful achievement if sometimes it's not by luck, to be honest, it's by choice. Do you understand? People, organizations who even have access to these big funds, they don't do the they don't perform the wonders you do. You understand? But interestingly, when there is synergy, the idea is there. How do we utilize it? How do we capitalize on it? How do we maximize its effect? The product we have, whatever outcome that we are seeing, how can we maximize it? How can the impact be felt out there? So if the idea is not coming, the creative part, you understand? And also the economic part too. I think, okay, this is what we have now. How can we maximize this? What can we channel it into? You understand? So the amazing things we see Swag do, I think it's now clear that majorly it's not about the big funding, because to be honest with you, the idea is there that I was speaking with someone in Niger State. I was telling the person, interestingly, a lot of people know Swag. I think she's from Akwa Ibom or something. So I was saying that I work with an organization. Well, I know someone. I know the executive director of. There's one organization called Swag Initiative. Swag Initiative. I know that organization. They do this. They do that. Are you serious? And then she made a statement that those kind of people, they have access to big funding. Saying like, only God know what they are controlling like that. You understand? So that's the mindset majority of people who have seen your achievements so far, seen the things you do. But interestingly now, according to your explanation, that the synergy is there. How can we maximize this little thing we have? What can we do exceptionally that will seem big in the eyes of a lot of people with what we have? So it's an interesting one, to be honest with you. But where do you see challenge in even having this kind of creative thing? What challenges do you have sometimes? Sometimes when you have so much ideas and concepts, is it that you are not executing it at the right time? Is it that execution sometimes can go? What are the challenges you think you still have, even with this? Do you understand what I'm saying? And what will you suggest for a growing business or a growing organization that don't have access to or don't have this exceptional skill in maximizing or capitalizing on those little things? Please, I would like you to start.
Okay, so one of the challenges that I feel you would like to hear about, or probably that is already going through your mind, or that's maybe going through any of our audience's mind right now, is that aspect of how much time you spend negotiating, how much time you spend sourcing, and all of those things. I want to see it's part of the synergy I talked about, and understanding the uniqueness or the peculiarity of our personalities, the different things that we have chosen as our career path or as something we enjoy doing. So now understanding that it's not competition of any kind, it's really a win-win thing if you really look at it very well. So apart from my business aspect, which I do to multiply my fund, right? The other part is the creative aspect. And I always say that is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to do drama. I don't want to be remembered for my business. I want to be remembered for drama. Now, to put up this real wowing thing on stage, to put up real plays that real people can identify with and enjoy what you have done or what they are seeing, it will not just fall on you. It will be you documenting experiences of real people. It comes as a result of your interaction with real people. So that's where, when I said earlier that it's a win-win thing. So when I go out to source for things, when I go out to negotiate, it provides me that opportunity to interact. It gives me that opportunity to listen to people. It gives me the opportunity to know more about people and to know more about things. These are things we write about, right? So to someone who is not like me, will see it as stressful, will see it as waste of time. But I'm telling you, it's one of the areas I also gather my materials for my creative work. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So it's really a win-win thing. It's a platform for me to interact with people. It's a platform for me to go out and see and interact with my environment and all of that. So this could appear to someone as maybe something difficult.
So
But
that
to me,
person is me.
but to me, really, it's fun. It's one of the things I really look forward to. In fact, sometimes I look for the stress. The one someone will interpret as stress. It is just my
Like a
own
playing game.
area of interest. I give you an example. When I go out to negotiate, and you are just seeing it as, well, you have this 10 naira. Why not just pay this person 10 naira and let's leave this place? I'm negotiating this thing for 8 naira. Don't be surprised that I might end up getting it for 8 naira and still dash the seller to but that period of negotiation, that period of interacting, I'm getting beyond those surface things that you are seeing, which really it's fun to me. Well, maybe let me still think about any other thing that may appear as but okay, when you talk about so many ideas,
I was going to add on
Okay,
that
please,
before
please.
you. So I mean, I think that's in itself could pose a challenge, and that's why it's important to have interactions. I mean, even just listening again, not because I don't know before, but I mean, in further opening up and saying how by spending time to negotiate is able to also cater for that creative aspect of his life, which I'm also so interested in. But sometimes it could be challenging and honestly even annoying. Like, why are we wasting time? Yes, it's very interesting to see how his negotiation skills, sourcing has really helped the organization to get value for money, be able to come to par in terms of even other organizations that probably have even more. But we've also grown over time. And with growth, it's also urgency. Okay. It's also meeting up with timeline, deadlines, and all of that. So sometimes I'm so anxious, I'm agitating and saying, oh, we need to get past this thing. Why are we still negotiating? Why are we still, I'll get back to you. Because we want to get the best price. I mean, we can afford this thing at this time. And somehow it has become part and parcel of it, which has really worked for us. And of course, that also means
for you.
No, for us and even for him. But I mean, over time, when you now see how that, you need to quickly meet up with something. And so that could be challenging. But again, for us, another strength of our being together is communication. So, for example, I try not to, in fact, there are times I just stay back in the car and let him go and negotiate because somehow I don't have the patience. And the patience is also the fact that I'm also, why are we wasting time? But also hearing to see how the interaction is not only just helping him source and negotiate, is feeding his creative angle, which is very important to me as well. I value that on his behalf. So somehow, I mean, I'm talking about how we mitigate such challenge. Yeah. I think those are but you did ask a question around more like what I would say to an organization, because there's a lot of them really starting. Passion is very important. But to be honest, to build an organization, you need more than passion. You need structure. You need the funding, you need all of that. But the truth is, you have to prove to the world that you're worth investing in. And it comes in different, even accountability. And it's okay to not get all the funding. I think really, funding can be, like there's so much you can do with lots of money, I assure you. But sometimes that we close our eyes to other resources. Enjoyed a lot of support from colleagues from other organizations that have given their time pro bono, and that has really helped us grow. So, but if you sit and just wait for the big money, it might never come. Let me not say, because nothing is impossible, but what we've experienced in SWAG is a growth process. So from one little money, by the time you're asking for the criteria continue to increase. So the first one is an opportunity I was speaking with someone who recently got some grants. I'm like, this is an opportunity to make a difference. This is an opportunity to have your records. This is an opportunity to really show your integrity and all of that. So if you take all of those opportunities seriously, also build your structure as you do that, I think to a large extent, it will help you grow. And be open to partnership and collaboration as well. And always document your process, because what is not documented is not done. And visibility, I can be very conservative when we started in terms of visibility, but like we're saying today, if you're not findable, you are not fundable. So people need to know you, they need to see what you're doing, and then they will be willing to invest in what you're doing.
Interestingly, you want to say something?
No.
Yeah. So interestingly, you answered what I wanted to ask. You understand about the technical part, but please, you still have to speak. So what I was majorly speaking about is you have an unfair advantage, which is the synergy you've talked about. Utilizing whatever is available. This is the small thing we are available. How do we maximize this? How do we make the most out of it? Whatever our product is, how will it seem to the world that this is big? Something big must be behind this. That secret is what I wish you people can just expose and just put it out there. Because a lot of people don't have the ability. They don't have partners. Some are single, you understand? Some work with technical skill, technical teams who are just solely on the technical ability to, okay, bring this together. Okay, the output, this is the outcome we get. You understand what I'm saying? But it's different from the creative part of it. It's different from utilizing the small thing that we have. So please, in a minute, or
Do you want to go first?
Okay, well, maybe I may not be responding the way you want, but let me just see this thing, what is running through my mind right now. So just thinking that if there's no longer funding for SWAG today,
exactly. Thank you for saying
will
that.
we not do anything? Or let's go back and see, as at the time we never had any funding or any partnership anyway, when we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So this boils down to your personal value or your interest. When there was nothing at all, when there was no funding from anyone, with our interest and our passion and our personal funding, we were doing things, right? Maybe just like she said, it was just recently that we became interested in this visibility of the thing. Okay, I'll give you an example. Because of the passion and the interest to reach out to the world, to make that change part of what we are doing today. I remember the first official staff of SWAG, right? Apart from the in-house people who were
Funding stuff.
but like someone who is an outsider that we decided to, okay, start doing this, I will pay, was happened to be one of our studio staff back then in Mina, you know, who was like the studio secretary, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was Crown City Studio then in Mina. And then we saw the need to make impact in the life of girls around. And then we decided to say, okay, pick up this role. There was no funding anyway. We were paying our salary, right? And we were doing things that we needed to do. So I'm just saying that all of this boils down to what's your passion? What's that thing that pushes you? What's your interest? So if funding is where is your motivation, if funding is your motivation, then the moment there's no funding, you will not do anything. But if creating that impact is really, we have things that we are doing currently that needed no funding from anywhere. That all we just need is our own passion, our own interest, and our own whatever it is to see this vision come true. We get into it and we get it done. If you see it out there, you think that we've had some millions of naira somewhere that we are using to push some of these ideas. So I'm just saying that your personal value really, really matter, you know? Yeah. So whatever it is will determine how far you will go, you know? And let's even come back to where there's funding. Just like she said earlier, if it's according to the funding available, right? Take the passion away from it. Take our personal interest away from it. Then we'll be doing less than what we're doing. So I'm just saying that the capital we have, speaking as a business person now, the funding is one part, maybe 60%. And then the passion Passion comes with energy. Passion comes with a lot of things. Well, I don't know how to portion the percentage now, but some percentage of it is the funding. Other percentage of it is the passion inside of you, which I see as the stronger propelling force. So
And maybe just to add to the passion is also investing in relationships. So it can be it can be your husband, it can be your boyfriend, it can be friends, it can be your sister, it can be
I think you mentioned that.
it just can be anyone around you, but you need to find like minds. Again, what we mean by like minds for me, it would be people who share same value with you, but not necessarily the same skill. Because at the end of the day, remember what you're trying to do is to synergize, is also to be able to maximize what you have. So our first big implementation of an activity was in Zaria, Kaduna State for SWAG. And it was all about reaching out to people that you know, either maybe because, you've been in a store, they're as customers, you invite them as speakers, you don't have to pay their transport, they're speaking, or you're speaking to the radio station because you've also, and when I say invest, do not use people, engage people, because people also can sense it, even from afar. If the only reason you're coming is when you need me, you just want to use me and dump me. But you've built a relationship with people. It means that when you're going to say, oh, I want to do this, oh, you can take the hall for free. Oh, you want to cook, you have a mother that cooks, and then you're able to just buy one or two things. You speak to people. Even after that, accountability. Don't think because after how much did they give me 1,000 naira. They need to know how that was spent. Even if they tell you don't worry, please worry. Because it shows integrity. It shows that, oh, you were able to, I'm a Christian and I believe so much in he who is faithful in the little, much more, a bigger one will be committed to such a person. So for me, really, it's that investing in in relationship. Like I said, even for SWAG, after leaving, most of my colleagues that I've had to invite to come in, they're colleagues that we work together, and because we had good relationship, they are more than excited. They're happy to, even for the funding too. People might fund you as an organization as you grow, but to start with, those very quite not so huge money, they fund you as an individual because they know you, they trust you, they can give you that support. So investing in relationship for me, it's very key to maximize and be able to grow any organization or even any passion that you have.
Thank you so much. Let me also say, people fund you because they feel you are needed. So first, when you do what is needed, you will be needed. So at first, you are not funded, but you do what is needed. Then people begin to feel that, oh, this person is needed. And the moment they feel you are needed, then the funding comes. But if you are waiting for people to first feel you are needed when you have not done what is needed, then it will be difficult, to have the funding come from anywhere. Yeah.
I like that. And that's really where the niche, because like everybody does pretty much the same thing, quote and unquote, if you're in the field. So what's that your secret sauce? What is that niche? What are you bringing in differently that you've done? That's why people can say, oh, wait a minute. Because oftentimes, even as we're growing, I've seen organizations approach us and we're not able to collaborate because we feel like what you're bringing is already what we're doing, or people are doing this. Nothing exceptional, thank you. But there are also other organizations that reach out to us and we're like, oh yeah, that's great. We would like to partner. Let's get on it. So always find that secret. And you don't have to get it all figured out as one. As you grow, you will, but be deliberate about asking. Just always take that step to say, if everyone is doing the same thing, why me? Why would someone decide to choose me from all others? That would help you discover that niche that you have.
Wow, you've really poured a lot, to be honest with you. Very, very fast. So much, so much. So, in short, people don't fund except they feel you are needed. You won't even invest, even if it's business you are doing. I want to do this kind of business. When they don't feel you are needed, or when they don't feel that value. And you talked about personal value system too, what you have developed yourself to do. But when the passion is not there, you can't even thrive during tribulations. And when the fund is there, the luxury, everything is there, If that thing is not within you originally, you can't flourish with it. Can't even, in fact, there is no way you can. And
I think that's even more difficult. People don't know until they have the resources and they now lack the basic ingredients. It's even more difficult than not having it at all.
if somebody's brain is wired for maybe 200,000 naira or 500,000, or even let's say a million, and they give you 2 million, you will spend everything until you get to that 1 million before you realize that.
Yes. The person whose mind capacity is a millionaire, if the person is given 10 million, until he wastes 9 million naira, his mind will not start working.
That's what I learned from there. His mind, and she talked about relationship too. The more you build a relationship in the aspect of, okay, I'm alone, I don't have these creative ideas, I can't flourish with innovations and all of those things. When that relationship you mentioned is there, you have good synergy with a lot of other creative people, for those who don't have your kind of partner. So when you can synergize with them, build interesting relationship with them, which is what I have to do. They don't necessarily have to work for you or you working together. But interestingly, where you build this kind of relationship, you can hear some ideas on how you can maximize that amount, whether big or whether small. So I think it's an interesting one. Please let me take our direction off from swag a bit and then talk about drama. Interestingly, aside from Mr. Ade,
See my wife smiling already.
as if she enjoys
I
it.
don't know why are you smiling?
Why is she smiling? Confess.
When you talk about drama.
So I wanted to talk about drama. Interestingly, aside him being a business mogul, he's also a dramatist and a theater person. So anything around dancing, anything around performing art, anything around singing. So am I right? So, but we've had several discussions before, and interestingly, I got to realize that people are tilting into movie making. In fact, some people trying to do AI, but you are specifically interested in drama. I mean, stage performance. People see transition from, okay, we've been acting drama, now let's go into movie making now. But you went from drama into movie making, and then interestingly back to drama, and you've been consistent with that for a while. So what is that drive? Why are you interested so much in drama? Because a lot of people are going into movie making, in fact, finding an exceptional way to perform, but you now going back to stage performance. What is your interest?
Well, maybe before the advent of AI the way it is today, I've had this instinct that those acting movies or those things you see in movies will still return to stage very soon.
But so I was also going to say why I laughed when you talked about drama. I mean, the very first time I met you, it was actually on stage.
But the truth of the matter is that I don't just know why. I've been very, very passionate about drama, stage drama in particular, And maybe the reason it's like that, because I started acting in the church. The stage thing in the church happened to be where my passion started growing. And going further to learn the skill to acquire the skill from school again, as in to learn theater and performing art professionally, and then coming back to the church to use this talent, right? So I kept seeing a better way that the church drama or the performance could, need to be. And I just felt at some point that we have not exhausted, the best of stage drama. And I feel what the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And whatever your hand finds to do, you can do it with the whole of your strength. So I just feel I could build the traditional thing I met in the church where I started from, to go better than the way I met it, to bring the professional touch to it. And I've not really seen myself achieve that to the best of how I want it. So what's really the need to go into movies or to go stay permanently in the movies? That is one. Number two is that, you see, this touch of reality, that's the theater feel, seeing people acting live and just having that real life feel in the theater. It's still coming back very soon. I can assure you that very, very soon, sooner than whatever you can imagine, that crave to have real life feel again will start coming back. And people will be looking out for where can we get live performance. You know, it's really a thing of interest for me to be one of those who will be waiting for that time and who would have built structure that when that time, you know, reemerge again, it will meet us standing. so maybe that's just part of the reason for my passion, you know, for really.
And thank you for sharing.
And also, you see, there's something we enjoy during rehearsals that you really don't see that in movies.
Please share. How do you do rehearsals and how do you rehearse for movies?
Just like I talked about the real life feel, those real life interaction that you see during rehearsal process, rubbing minds with people. It has just become part and parcel of it. I spoke about that during when we were speaking about negotiation and all of that. We enjoy that fellowship. We enjoy that fellowship during the rehearsal for stage. It's not a common thing for movies. I'm not saying some people don't rehearse for movies. Of course they do. But the process is not same with the stage drama thing. There's this co-creation spirit that happens when it's stage work. You know, that maybe some people do it in movies, but it's not a regular way of movie production. You bring your artist, a professional who would already read his lines, come do performance, go back to the hotel room while you shoot the next scene or whatever thing you want to do.
Or even go completely.
Or even go
Done
completely.
with their lines.
You don't even need to see other actors or whatever. Play your role and go away.
Okay.
But when it comes to stage work, we build it together, we stay together. That's communal way of doing things. I cannot just evade from my life. I love it so much, and it's part of the things I really want to live for. Yeah.
I think if I may add to that, from watching him do drama, hopefully someday I'm going to also be an actress.
Seriously, because I wanted to have.
So, it's also how immense it can be, the experiential aspect of stage drama, which you rarely, I know there are movies that I've watched that were so beautiful, you feel like you're in it because of how well done it is, or even going to the cinema. But it still doesn't compare to when you're watching it live on stage. And for some, like I've seen him do that, a few times, the audience engagement. If you're watching a movie, you're watching a movie, that's all. You can say, hey, oh my God, I just tried to, but nobody's hearing you, they're not there. I like how Yoruba will put radio as or a man you can't receive it here at that point. But then the interaction, how you can even become an actor, double cast yourself even as an audience while there. I really think that, especially in a world where we're really so into technology, phones and all of that, it's really an opportunity for us to come together and interact. It's also an opportunity for us to immerse ourselves into the stories, into this experience. And that, for me, it's such a beautiful thing that film doesn't offer.
But when we talk about numbers here, film has the potential to reach a lot of people, right? You can't put 10,000 people, let's say, perhaps there are stages, maybe in Nigeria, of course, definitely. But you can't really put such number inside a room, you understand, for them to experience that life feel. What is your solution to that? Have you ever thought about that?
So you see, documenting stage performance is different from documenting a movie. So if a stage performance is recorded and put out there, and the same story is recorded as a movie and put out there, I can assure you, even as you watch them on your screen, the feel will be different. So when you talk about the numbers, if I decide to record my stage performance, for example, you can check on YouTube, Tales of Sharon. Tales of Sharon. It's a stage performance. In fact, it's just a dress and technical rehearsal that we decided to record. And and put out there. But I can assure you, the feel that it will give you definitely will be better than some movies that you watch, and then you can still have that feel of stage performance in what you are watching. So reaching the numbers, it's definitely not a big deal. As much numbers that a regular movie can make, the stage recorded performance too can do as much better. Yeah.
And I think another thing, though not decided, even as we continue to evolve, is aside from recording, also if it's being live, it's live as it's going,
Live
and
stream,
then people live stream, thank you, and people can watch all over. Again, the fact that you can comment real time, it's also different from a movie that is being recorded. Again, it's not in any way to say movie isn't good. It's good. But it's just emphasizing that engagement that comes with. And the truth is, now going back, wearing my development hat, as much as, yes, there are a lot of people who have access to internet and we can get people online, we still know that there are people who still, there's the digital divide, either for different reasons, by gender, by location, rural, urban settings. So there's still people who still can navigate. So for us is, how do we make sure nobody is left behind? So whether you are in a very rural community, we go there, stage it, you see it, or we bring you, or you come to us too, depending on how much. So that way, for us, is really just ensuring that there's no barrier, no limitation, whether you're online, offline, anywhere, you can definitely have access.
Oh, that makes so much sense to me, especially for the fact that the outreach part is there. Taking it that whether you can't reach us, we can definitely reach you. What I think there's a word for that. Going out, not flash mob anyway, but going out to do that. And I think your ministry also extends to that, right? Going out to do
Mobile theater kind of.
mobile theater, and just putting this thing, because it's not every one of these people that even need the message you are trying to pass along can travel down to wherever your place is, or can have access to phones. So interestingly, if you can have a live performance, then I think that one goes a long way.